Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Life is Weird podcast. Thank you guys for all the love and support you guys have showed me. Today, I have a very special guest.
Yes, sir.
Buddy just moved up here from Texas.
San Antonio, Texas.
Word.
San Antonio, Texas.
Word. Introduce yourself.
My name is Fernando Juarez. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I just moved up here to Waterville, New York. I just met my boy Jack right here.
Word.
Through one of my friends, Caleb, who moved up here about 2-3 years ago too. So.
Word.
You know.
Out of all the places you could have possibly moved, you chose to move to.
That's where he moved. That's why he invited me over. I said, why not?
But it's cool. Like, so that I guess I could ask you why you wanted to move here. Like, what led up to that, and what had happened to where you felt like you had to leave.
Well, at first, Caleb had moved up here about 2.5 years ago. About 2.5 years ago. Almost 3 years probably. And he told me and my group of friends back at home, like, hey, one of y'all could, I have an extra room. One of y'all could come over and stay with me and just see how things are different. It'll open your mind up. It'll change you for sure.
And Caleb's that kind of person. Like, I've been friends with Caleb for about probably 8 months at this point, something like that. And he's a very kind person. That's what I gathered from him so far. Yeah. I want to have him on, but he's playing. But
yeah, he'll eventually hop on. Trust me. But at first I said nah, I'm not doing that. What am I gonna do over there? But
because you gotta understand, that's a big change.
Exactly.
And I admire you for that. It's like, yo, you move across the country.
Pretty much, yeah, from south to north, all the way up.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. At first I said no, but 2.5 years passed, 2 years passed, and I said, why not? One day, matter of fact, it was one day. This happened multiple times at work. I work apartment maintenance. I used to work apartment maintenance over there. I just got a job up here with the same thing, but I used to work apartment maintenance up there. And sometimes I'd be like, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to do this no more. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I just don't want to be here anymore.
So you felt like you needed to change.
Yeah, and I had one of those days, and I told myself, if I get the same feeling again within the next month, I'm leaving to New York. That's the first thing that popped up in my head, and a few days later passed. That day didn't happen. I was feeling good, but for some reason I just went home. I think it was March 10th, March 11th, March 9th, somewhere around those dates. It was early March. And it just clicked in my head. I said, and I gave Caleb a phone call, a FaceTime call, and if I said if he picks up, I'm moving up there. If he doesn't, then I guess he'll have to wait. And he picked up, and I told him, yo, I'm moving up there. Just like that, straight up.
I just
made that quick decision right there. No second thoughts about it, because I knew that if I didn't make that right there, if I didn't say those words right there, it was never gonna happen. So
I want you to describe that feeling that you were feeling. What was that feeling like?
Bro, I just don't want to be here no more. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to work here anymore. It's not a bad job. It's because it was my dad's company. I worked alongside my brother, and I had a lot of advantages there. If I missed a day, it wasn't anything major because it's a family company, right?
Right.
It was a lot of advantages there. A lot of people would like to work there if they want to work with that, but I don't know. To me, it's just I just had enough of it. It was, I don't know, maybe you get tired of something for doing it too long. I feel like that's what it was.
Sure.
I just never imagined myself doing the same thing for a long amount of time. So
I think from what you're describing, you needed a change.
Yeah.
From what you had told me, we had a conversation about what was going on with your life at home, and you were just okay, this isn't a healthy environment for me.
Yeah, that too. It was just I would get home, I would either take a nap or hop on the game. I wouldn't do anything extra. I mean, I would go to the gym and stuff, but it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't really anything that was, I feel like, bettering me.
You felt like there was no self-improvement. You were stuck in the same, you were comfortable.
Yeah, that too. I was very comfortable. And I said, if I go to New York, I'm going to be more independent. I'm not going to have my mom. I'm not going to have my dad. I'm going to have to pay everything myself. Food, bills, if I get fired, whatever, if I don't have a job, I'm gonna have to figure it out myself. And I feel like that's
and
what I wanted.
I can relate to that heavily because like I kind of had it made for me too. Like, don't get me wrong, my parents aren't rich by any stretch of the imagination, but they gave me a life where I was comfortable.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
like senior year of high school, like I just felt like I was so comfortable, but I was so not content with where my life was at.
Exactly.
You know
Sometimes
what I mean?
you need to be like at the edge of something.
Comfortability can really be a killer
Yeah.
because like when you're trapped in your comfort zone,
You just don't really care to
it's
get
not
out
even
of it.
that you don't care.
Like you do, but you don't feel a drive. You don't feel anything pushing you.
Exactly.
So you're just
and
there.
also you get so comfortable that you start to fear getting outside of your comfort zone.
That too, because you know you don't go outside your comfort zone, so it's like you just stay in the same
You
spot.
stay
You
in a
don't
box. You stay trapped
exactly,
in a little box. And I
exactly.
didn't get out of that. I didn't get out of that until I went away for college. I went like 2 hours west of here, and that really gave me a chance to like blossom into the person I was supposed to be. Like before, senior year of high school, I wasn't really lifting like that. Like, and then I went to college, and then I gained like 15 pounds in my time there. You know, just
even just moving out made you do that. You probably would have never achieved that if you would have stayed.
exactly.
Yeah.
And something about independence, like knowing that I could do it on my own. You know, like
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
you know,
Even though I've only been here for a week and a half, almost 2 weeks probably, I know that it's gonna change something
I mean,
within me. Like
you're around people that want to better themselves now.
exactly that too. So filling your environment with similar, like-minded people versus over there. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, my friends over there are cool and everything, but I just feel like it wasn't the same as it is here.
That's what Caleb was sort of describing, like, and that's also a trap here. Like, there's a lot of people here that just have the same 9 to 5 mentality, and it's kind of, you get like trapped in the cycle.
It's not even just a 9 to 5. You can have a 9 to 5. That doesn't really matter. But when you don't really care
Have goals.
when you just 9 to 5. Okay, now I'm chilling.
Smoke the za.
Now 9 to 5. Okay, now I'm chilling again. You know, that's what I was doing.
Right.
Because that's kind of like, I guess, the environment that I was around in. Because the friends that I have is from elementary and middle school. Right?
So you known them for a long time.
Yeah. So it's not like I'm going to cut these people out just to be myself. You know,
it's harder.
Just to be by myself. It's not the kind of person I am, you know, so.
Yeah.
And it's not, and I'm not saying like they ain't doing nothing. Like, three of my friends just got into a Muay Thai gym, which I'm not into Muay Thai, but like I want to get into a boxing gym. I'm gonna do that up here. I probably would have never done that back at home, or I would have never had the, you know.
I think this is giving you the experience to try new things, number one, and just be ultimately the best version of yourself.
Yeah, that's another thing. Try new things, like I told you before, without a fear of judgment, because right here nobody can tell me anything.
Describe that feeling of judgment that you felt back at home. If you're
I just feel like everybody would question everything in my household. Like, my mom would question everything, and my brother would question everything. My dad didn't really.
So even if you tried to step outside of your comfort zone and try to better yourself, you would feel like you were being judged and looked at in a certain way.
Yeah, and it's not like that's. Yeah, I guess it would say that it's stopping me. It's, you know, I guess my pride is saying that, oh no, that's not stopping me. But it would stop me because I would I would doubt it in my mind. And I just wouldn't want to hear these voices from my mom, my brother, or whoever, even making jokes about it or whatever it may be. I just don't want to hear anything negative on it. Because, like, let's say I want to do something, I start doing it, and then people have their own opinions when they've never even tried it, never approached it, never researched into it, they've never even tried it. And they telling me how to do it, or like, why don't you do this? Oh, it's just a suggestion. I understand it's just a suggestion. But I'm the one doing it.
But you're not qualified to answer that question.
Exactly. I'm the one doing it. Like, let me make these mistakes.
And I've fallen victim to that in my past too. It's like you seek other people's validation so much to the point where it hinders you, and it's like, okay, how did I get out of that? Really, just recently. It's really about submission to God. Like, it's like, and I've talked about this on earlier podcasts. It's like, okay, why would I listen to everybody else?
Yeah.
If God's voice is telling me exactly what I need to do. You see what I'm saying?
That too.
And that's another question I wanted to ask you. What's your take on God? What led, if you do believe in God, what led you to God? And
I do believe in God. But I'm gonna start from the beginning.
mm,
When I was around 9, 10 years old, my mom put me in a Catholic school, but I didn't understand anything. Like all they told me was there was a God and there was a beginning with the Adam and Eve, and they ate the apple, and that's why they're sin, and we got to do good. But
so
I
much.
didn't understand anything because I'm only 10 years old, right? I only what I'm being told is kind of what's in here. I'm not as a 10-year-old. You can't really think by yourself. You know, you can manipulate a 10-year-old so much easier.
For sure.
Telling him certain things.
You're really a product of your environment. I mean, at some point, free will.
Yes, as a kid.
At some point, free will has to take over. But when you're a kid, you're like a sponge.
Exactly.
You take in every little thing. Like if you're like, if you live in an abusive household, you know what
exactly.
I mean? The damage that could do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because you're a sponge. You see everything and you're taking that in.
Yeah, it's like, for example, here, if you go to some neighborhoods and you just see rundown neighborhoods and kids acting, you know,
a certain
way that they shouldn't, that's just what they've been around their whole life, so that's what they are. But
product of your environment.
Yeah, they're a product of their environment. But as a kid, I just never understood everything they told me. I just took in what they told me, but as soon as I started asking questions like who is God and all this, nobody could really answer them. So I didn't.
So you found yourself in a place of like in a Catholic church with hypocrisy. Like these people claim to know God, but when you ask them,
they couldn't really give me a. Every time I would ask my mom or my dad, they would say ask your Catholic teacher, but they wouldn't really. Maybe I didn't understand because I was only 10 years old. Maybe it was that, but I still don't think that they answered the questions.
Fully understood.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It's something like that. So it was only for like my first communion thing. It wasn't like a school. I only went there for like a couple months, once a week. Right. And I finished it, but I was still kind of like, I wasn't confident in my belief, I guess. And then some years passed by. And, you know, we all go through that YouTube rabbit hole thing.
Yep.
Get into conspiracies and all that when you're like 14, 15, 16 years old or whatever.
I've been there.
Everybody goes through that, right? So then it was more like...
the desire for knowledge.
Yeah, it was like, what is a universe and all this kind of stuff.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it really is.
Because this life shit makes absolutely no sense.
It really is. Yeah,
it's just like the fact that we're here.
There's so much out there that it's crazy to think that we're just here.
Like,
you know, like I was just put here. I don't
know if you've seen a picture of like what Earth looks like from like the sun.
it's a speck.
It's a speck. We're
exactly.
A dot.
Exactly, it's a speck.
And
we're nothing.
Like there's 8 billion of us, and we each have our own individual story.
I know. Exactly.
And the fact that we're even sitting here having this conversation is just mind blowing.
Yeah, out of everybody in the world.
Everybody.
Out of the time that you were born, out of after, you know, maybe your parents could have.
The fact that we're even living at the same time.
Yeah, the fact that your parents met, everything winds down to this moment right here, right? So,
it's insane.
Yeah. So that was pretty interesting when I discovered that whole thing around 14, 15, 16 years old. And then I met this girl in my biology class. She was a Christian girl. Her name is Juliana.
Shout out to Juliana.
Juliana Ledesma. Yeah. And she believed in God. She was a real Christian girl. And at that time, it was around that same time I was on my YouTube thing. And I started asking her questions about God and like, why do you believe? And I asked her thousands of questions.
And
thousands of questions.
But that's what you have to do because,
Yeah.
like, how do you expect to learn something if you don't ask?
Yeah, but the thing is, she was able to answer all of them. Oh, any question I had, she was able to answer all of them. If she wasn't able to,
What was one of the most profound things she ever?
I don't know. It was, bro. It was 1,000 questions. I can't remember. It was thousands and thousands. And the fact that she was so patient to answer all my questions, it just it made me even more curious to know God and the Bible and all those kind of things. I haven't read it fully, but
It's a long book.
Yeah, I haven't read it fully. I started reading it this year. Very inconsistent with it. I hope to get more consistent with it. But I asked her so many questions, and that's what really sparked my belief into God and into Jesus and the Holy Spirit and all those kind of things that has to do with it. And ever since then, it's been, I mean, everybody has their own journey. At first it was like real strong and inconsistent and inconsistency, a lot of inconsistency.
I think that's what you need to work on the most. Like from what I've gathered, like back at home you were inconsistent, and that's why you came here.
Yeah,
so
that's what. Yeah,
hopefully
exactly.
I can inspire that through you to just be consistent because I've struggled with that too.
Yeah, I think everybody does.
Like discipline.
That too.
Discipline. You must discipline yourself.
Yeah, without discipline, you're nothing pretty much. Can't get anything done without discipline.
And it's like the best way for me to be as disciplined as possible is through God.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I found that too. Yeah.
Prayer is so important to me. Just realizing like, God, what do you want me to do in this moment?
Yeah.
And he would tell you.
Yeah.
Very, very simply and straight up.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing. Like the reason why I believe is because I feel like I've experienced God, like in presence, and like I've experienced it.
Oh man, explain. You have to explain.
Like I've had the feeling. So I'm gonna give you one example. One time, I was asking myself, what, like, how do I stop glorifying myself and how do I glorify God, right? Because
Amen.
Let's say I'm praying to God, but I feel guilty praying to God because I feel like the things that I'm asking for seem selfish.
We literally had a podcast just on this, like what is worship?
Oh yeah.
I believe humans worship three things. They either worship, and it could be one of three things, it could be a combination. They either worship themselves.
Yeah.
They either worship the tangible. And what I mean by the tangible is like, it could be money.
Yeah.
It could be another person.
Yeah.
It could be anything in the tangible world, anything that you could pick up. It could be your iPhone.
Yeah.
Like people sit on their iPhone, scroll through, that's a form of worship.
Yeah, it is.
Or they worship God. And to worship God, you must not put anything else above that. And so you felt like you were worshiping yourself.
Yeah, I felt guilty when I was talking to God or praying to God. I felt guilty in a way. And I asked, like, what do I do? Like, I was asking, like, what do I do? And I found this verse. I forgot exactly what this verse was. It was like, what's that book called? Ephesians. I forgot what exact page it was on. But it read something about instructions of Christian living. You must not be like the Gentiles, right? I read that whole thing, and it made so much sense. And 2 days later, I think it was 2 days later, 3 days later, maybe it was the next day, I went to the gym. That day, the day that I looked it up, I didn't go to the gym. I went to the gym the previous day, and at the gym they have a Bible. I flipped a random page to the Bible and just read whatever it says. So I flipped the page the day before I was asking that question, right? And I promise you, it wasn't on that page. Maybe it was. Maybe it was on that page that I had read the next day. I know I'm probably confusing you a bit. Let me restart. So I went to, let's say, I think it was Thursday. I went to the gym Thursday. Word. As soon as I finished working out, I flip the page to a random page, right? And then the next day comes around, and that's when I ask God, like, how can I start worshiping myself and and live for your glory, right? And that's when I found that verse. It was, you said Ephesians.
Ephesians.
Ephesians. There we go. And then the next day or 2 days later, I go to the gym.
And that book was open.
It was I didn't flip the page.
It was just there.
It was just there. I start reading it. I'm like, wait, hold on. I read this before.
Divine timing is real. It is.
Even if I did flip the page on Thursday and I didn't notice that, or somebody else flipped that random page, because people go in there and flip it too, I ended my workout, I went to the Bible, and it was right there. And so
Amazing.
that was a confirmation.
That it's real.
Yeah, to me that was another, just like a confirmation that it was just real.
And you asked the question, how do you stop worshiping yourself?
Yeah.
And to me, the biggest thing is sacrifice.
Yeah. Just put your trust into God.
What I mean by sacrifice is, right, we all have an evil inclination, right? Life is a balance. We were born with the inclination to do good and the inclination to do evil, right? Whatever vice you may have, right? And I'm going to be open and honest. For me, it was pornography.
Yeah.
Right? And I struggled with that for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And I asked God, I'm like, truly, it's unbelievable He took that away from me.
Yeah. No, I've experienced that before too.
He took the urge to do it from me.
I experienced that before too.
And but it was my decision, because I told God.
Exactly. Yeah.
I sacrificed. I said, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice what my body wants. And I'm going to do what God wants me to do. And God told me not to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. Like, truly, like, it's a miracle.
It's real. Like, prayer is real. People underestimate it, but prayer is real.
It is.
Yeah, it's real. It's 100% real. You can feel it. Sometimes when you like just feeling low, or you just feel so bad about yourself, whatever. You ask God to do something, and when you really need it, He'll come in at the right time, the perfect time.
Exactly.
It's real. People underestimate prayer.
Now I have to ask you another question. How do you explain all the hardship, all the evil in the world? How do you explain all the death and the hatred? Why does God allow this to happen, if there is a God? Which there is.
There is a God.
Why does He allow all these things to happen? Why is it that a 10-year-old can get raped?
Yeah. Well, you got to start back when He created humanity, right?
Mm-hmm. I'd love to hear your answer on this.
Adam, you know the story, Adam and Eve, the apple, the serpent. God gave us free will, and we broke that free will because we were convinced by the evil to take the apple and bite it, right? So I mean, that's how it started. But I feel like He lets these things happen because He continues to give us free will.
Right.
Then if God doesn't give us free will,
then what is the meaning of it?
What kind? Yeah, exactly.
There is none.
Would you rather Him be a dictator? To me, that doesn't make any sense. So.
And it goes deeper than that too. For me, if you read the first 5 books of the Bible, the first 5 verses of the Bible says, what was the first thing God created? He said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
Yeah, there was.
But what people miss is God says, "Then God divided the light from the darkness." And in that moment, God was creating a balance.
Yeah.
The balance of everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Light and darkness. He created the first opposite.
Yeah.
Good and evil. Yin and yang, whatever you want to call it, And And why did he do that? What was the purpose behind creating a balance? Because what would light be without darkness?
Yeah.
What would it be? It'd be nothing at all.
Yeah, it'd be nothing.
Light needs darkness to define it,
Yeah,
and so does
exactly.
darkness.
Yeah, it's like
Darkness
hot and
needs
cold.
light to define it.
Without hot, there's no cold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why there's love and there's hate. Because God, and that's one of the most fascinating things about the Bible, because those are the first 5 verses of the Bible. God created light and separated from the darkness, and that sets the precedent for anything to be possible. Me and you sitting here right now, God divided the light from the darkness.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about it I never noticed that right there.
Most people don't. And
I've never heard anyone point that out. That it was like the first opposite.
The first.
Yeah.
And the thing about the Bible that's so fascinating, it's not one book. This is a series of 66 books.
Yeah.
Over the course of like 2,000 years, 2,000, 3,000 years.
Yeah, I think it's more probably.
Maybe even longer. Genesis, there's some things that could have got lost in time, passed down from generation. That could be like 10,000 years old.
Yeah, because people lived thousands of years and then another 1,000 years, like it dumbed down to 900 and then 800 and then 700. Then they wound it down all the way to like, our age right now. So.
Yeah, and it's just, and to me, it's just fascinating to see over the course of time that there's connections all over.
Yeah. With 40, well, how many riders is it? 40, 44?
I don't
40?
even know.
It's too many. 40-something riders, and it all just connects to each other.
Somehow.
Yeah, it's just somehow connected. That's not by accident, you know? That's not by accident.
Yeah. Well, I have another question for you pertaining to God.
Yeah, before you get to that question, you said how a lot of people ask, why is God allowing evil? What do you think about that?
It goes back to free will. I've struggled with this. I really don't know sometimes, and I think the realest thing is God is real, but the devil is also real.
Yeah.
And I feel like the world and the current state that we are in, Satan has his grip.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people say this is the devil's world because, he kind of is taking over. But at the same time, it can't really be the devil's world because God created it, so.
And, yeah. The thing about it is God created the devil.
Him too.
Well, he created Lucifer. Lucifer was a perfect being.
Yeah.
And then Lucifer got prideful.
Yeah.
And that's another interesting thing. It was pride. He said, I am the best, I am this, I am that, yada, yada. And then he got cast out from heaven.
I guess he created him too perfect that he thought he was like all this and all that.
And it goes back to that balance. It's like, why did God create Lucifer?
Yeah, because another thing people say, if God knew this was going to happen, then why did he let it happen? But again, it goes back to free will. You got to understand it's
that
free
had
will.
to happen.
Exactly. Like he knew, he probably knew it was going to happen. But he probably knows all this stuff is happening right now.
I wonder if there's some sick world where God has created like that there is no free will.
I don't know. I think about that too. Like, what if God didn't just create us? What if there's other worlds where life is perfect,
To me, there's like...
But, that doesn't mention in the Bible, so to me, I just never really cared for it. Does it?
Well, there's a book that was taken out of the Bible, but it was in the Bible for a long time, and it's in the Ethiopian Bible. It's called the Book of Enoch.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I've looked into it. I haven't looked into it. I researched just what it is.
That book is fascinating.
But
I haven't read it fully, but that book
is
wild. Apparently, like, angels were cast out from heaven into the earth, and they were reproducing with females, like human.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. Cause
Me too.
Now I'm more curious about it, but I just never touched that because it's not
It's
what
not
we
part of
practice.
the
Yeah, it's not what we it's
word.
not what we practice. So it's like looked down upon, right? Kinda.
I wouldn't say it's looked down upon. I just don't think. I think it was taken out because it wasn't canonically what they wanted. I don't know. It wasn't.
It was more negative, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it was negative. I just don't think like I don't think that it fit the Bible's trajectory in order. I don't know. It's in the Ethiopian Bible. I know that.
I'm gonna have to look into it.
Um yeah, it's interesting. But the question I want to ask you is why do you think Christianity is true and not all the other world religions?
I've looked into that too. I've looked into the Islamic religion, and well, I looked into all religions, but it wandered it down to Christianity and the Islamic religion. So let's say there's like 50 religions. I looked into them. I said this one doesn't make sense just because of that. This one doesn't make sense. This one doesn't make sense. And it wandered down to Christianity and the Islamic religion, the Quran versus and the Bible. I don't want to say versus the Quran or the Bible. It wandered down to one of those. And there's a lot of things that people say are similar, but I think
the Quran contradicts itself.
yeah, the Quran, I've concluded, to me, I don't want to offend any people that are, follow the Quran, but to me, the Quran is kind of like mimicking the Bible in a way, because their way to get into heaven is to do more good than bad, right? That's what I've heard. That's what I've read. That's what I've heard, people say on the streets and, YouTube videos of, people contradicting or people arguing with each other. That's what they believe. But they also believe that if you believe in Jesus as a God, if you take Jesus as a God, like you can't get into heaven, no matter what. So that already contradicts the Bible, like the main purpose of the Bible. Like in the Bible, you can do whatever you want, but if you believe in Jesus, you're saved. But at the same time, it doesn't make sense that you can do whatever you want, because let's say I go out and just live a sinful life. It wouldn't make sense for me to believe in Jesus, right? For example, let's say I be sinning my life is just full of sin. What makes me think that I'm going to be close to God if I'm doing all this, if I'm living for the world, So that doesn't really make sense. But anyways, another reason why I believe in the Bible is because their words are so much more exact than what I've heard people say about the Quran. Like another thing is, in the Quran, people say that you need to learn Arabic or you need to know Arabic to fully understand it 100%. The whole world isn't gonna know Arabic, so that just doesn't make any sense to me.
It's limiting in a sense.
Exactly, it's limited to the world. It's only limited to a certain amount of people, certain parts of the world. If you don't look.
And
Arabic.
is God limited to a certain amount of people? No, it shouldn't be limited.
Yeah, nah. If he's the creator if in the Quran it also says that God created everyone, why is it limited to certain
Jesus
people?
said,
years and years later.
And to your point, Jesus literally said, like, to love your enemy, do good to those that hurt you. Why? Because God sends rain on the just and the unjust. That means he created the just and the unjust. He created everything.
Yeah.
You see, even like a homeless person on the street that made all the wrong life choices, God still created that man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? In the image of God.
Yeah, treat him like he's you, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with all of the other world religions is, to your point, it's like, what crosses the line between you reaching heaven or hell? What crosses the line? Because it's like, all of them say you must do good works to get into heaven.
Yeah. A lot of them do. Yeah.
All of them. I'd say most, if not all. I could
Yeah.
be wrong. I haven't fact checked that, but
I'm pretty sure it's most.
It's definitely most, if not all, that say you need to do good works to get to heaven, and you need, like, whatever it may be. And to me, it's like, okay, well, have you ever lied in your life?
Yeah, everyone has.
Have you ever stolen? I know I have. Have you ever committed adultery?
Yeah, everyone has.
Jesus says if you even look upon a woman with lust,
Exactly.
you already committed adultery in your heart.
Everyone has.
Have you ever worshipped a god? Like I was saying, you either worship yourself, the tangible, whatever it may be. Have you ever put something else above God?
Yeah.
Have you ever taken the Lord's name in vain?
Yeah.
Have you ever not protected the Sabbath?
Yeah, everyone. I mean, everyone has.
Have you ever
Right?
not honored your mother and your father?
Yeah, everyone.
We all fall short. So
Exactly.
who's going to pay for that?
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, if you do a certain amount of good, you still did all this
Yeah.
bullshit.
At the same time, how do you outweigh which sin or which bad? Like
Like,
how
to
many
me,
points does this sin
people
weigh?
always like use the scale. Does your good outweigh the bad?
Yeah.
Yada yada. That
Yeah. It
it
doesn't
doesn't
make
like
it doesn't
that
make
doesn't
sense to
make
me. It
sense
doesn't make
because
sense.
at the end of the day, who's gonna pay for all the bad stuff that you did?
Yeah.
And Jesus, I don't even want to call it Christianity because Christianity
Yeah. I've never
has
liked that label on it
has
either.
been used to justify wars. It's been used to justify slavery, and it's been used for a lot of negative things. To me, I follow Jesus,
Yeah.
and Jesus says we all fall short of the glory of God,
Yeah.
and that the only way is through Him. And I always ask myself, why is the only way through Him? Why is the only way through Jesus Christ? And when all the other world religions acknowledge Him and say that He is a way, in a sense, but Jesus says, I'm the only way. And I always ask myself, why? Why is Jesus excluding all the other world religions and all these other cultures? And I don't think it's necessarily exclusion. I think there's a lot of wisdom in these other religions. But He's saying you all will fall short. And Jesus revealed Himself as God in human form for us to look upon Him. And He set the ultimate example.
Yeah.
And whatever background you come from, could be Hindu, could be Buddhist, you could still follow these things. They all kind of teach the same things in a sense. There's differences, but everyone's kind of, all the religions are kind of trying to get us to be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, okay, I don't know. It's a complicated question. What do you think?
Ask the question again.
It's like, why does Jesus exclude all the other world religions? And why does He say the only way is through Him?
I don't know if it's. No, yeah, He definitely does exclude because He just says, follow me, right? So.
He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life.
Yeah, I mean,
No man can come into the Father
that
except
alone
through me.
excludes everything else. I don't think it was just excluding all the other religions. I think it's just more like kind of warning us in a way, or kind of letting us know that He is the way, that Jesus is the way.
Mm.
Because I believe that all these other religions are made from the devil, because obviously, that's how sin started. So
I don't necessarily agree, but
it started with that. At least I believe at least it started with that.
I think they were created by man. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, men have sin. Where does sin
Mm-hmm.
come from?
I think religion in itself, or like the practice to try to be spiritual, is to try to better yourself to the fullest of your capability and to try to be the best version of yourself. So to me, like, for example, I'll take Buddhism, for example. Like, Buddhism is such a beautiful practice. It's about releasing or forgetting all the desires of this world, and to let go of all the external desires that you may have, and truly.
Yeah.
And I don't know everything there is to know, not even close, but
I mean, it's a positive practice for
exactly,
sure.
That's my point. They're positive.
Yeah.
And
But have you ever thought about it as in because the devil he's sneaky with it, you know.
For sure.
He's sneaky with it. So don't you think? Put your mind as the devil. Here's God. I'm the devil. I'm trying to get as many people to stay away from God, so he creates all these other religions for different kinds of people around the world, for them to follow and not follow God, because the devil is sneaky.
Well, I say this: you're a product of your environment, like we were talking about. So, like, let's say you're raised. I'll use the example Buddhist again. Like,
Yeah.
what if you're raised Buddhist and that's all you know, and you never hear the word Jesus, right?
Yeah.
What about that person? You know, because that person is taught that if you follow the Eightfold Path, then you will find enlightenment, right?
Yeah.
And many people have found enlightenment through that, or so they say. I don't know if that's true, but so they say. And I ask, like, is that really evil in a sense?
I mean, I think it started with it though, because if you tie it back down to the beginning, that's how it started. It started by
So you're
going
saying
against
man
God.
came. You're
All
saying,
these other religions, I think, go against God. Even if they're good practices, yeah, they make you, but they don't lead you to the truth, you know? They don't lead you to that. They lead you somewhere else, you know? Like, for example, I can lead you to right here. Let me, for example, there's a really good job right here, right?
right.
Now there's even a better job, but me, I can be selfish. I can take that job. Instead of taking you with me, I'm gonna leave you to this other job. It's not like I'm giving you this, but I'm not giving you the
something
best.
that.
I'm
So
not
what
giving you
you're.
the
Oh,
best thing.
okay. I see what you're saying.
So the
that
devil
you're
could
saying
probably.
you're saying what you're saying is the devil is basically okay. So let's say you have a job, right?
Yeah.
A good job, well-paying
Yeah,
job,
amazing, perfect.
and then you have your purpose, your divine purpose, like what God put you on this earth to do.
Yeah.
The devil will say, and I'm using these as an example of religion, right? So the devil will take you and say, okay, this is good,
Yeah.
right?
Now you're content
This is
with
great,
that. Now you're content with that, and you don't question anything.
right? But really, this is what it was
Exactly.
supposed
He's
to
not
be.
giving you that. He's steering you away from that. And he's distracting you with all these positive things that have impacted your life. So you're like, why would I go to somewhere else when this place is perfect for me?
That's very interesting and profound. I never heard it that way. And that,
You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
He's steering you away from the best, from the absolute best, which is, Jesus.
What do you say to the people that never heard Jesus' name?
I think it says somewhere in the Bible that those people, I don't know, I think those people will be taken care of by God, no? It says somewhere in there, I think it says
I
that.
think it says something along the lines of
Because, for example,
if you sin out of ignorance, then like you won't be, and I'm paraphrasing obviously,
yeah.
that you won't be judged as hard. But if you sin knowing that you sin,
Yeah, like you neglect it,
like you know what you're doing
like it's
is
right in
wrong,
front of you and you still neglect it, like
then your
hardening your
punishment
heart.
will be a lot harsher.
Yeah, like for example, in North Korea, people can't even like I don't
Could
think
you
I don't think Jesus is allowed over there.
could you imagine growing up in North Korea?
Nah, I can't.
Like, do you
We don't even
understand?
know what it's like.
Do you understand how lucky we are?
Yeah, no. Imagine being one of those people. I'm not even one of those people. The millions of
Like
people that have been born over there.
that is hell on
Yeah,
earth.
yeah,
You gotta understand, these people they can't self-express. Imagine if you couldn't self-express yourself.
yeah. And the thing is, they worship their dictator.
The
They're
dictator is their god.
exactly. So like they never hear it. I don't know. I think God will take care of those people though, in a way. In their own
Yeah, I
way.
hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because in the Bible also says he is a just God.
He is a just God.
So, in my opinion, that wouldn't be just to sending people to hell because they ain't never believe in my son Jesus. So, I don't think that would be fair. I don't think that would be just.
And yeah, and it's this world is a good place, but it's also an evil place, and there's been a lot of evil that has
Yeah.
happened on this planet
Yeah.
over the course of history.
Yeah.
And it's like for example, Genghis Khan, like that man
Kill babies, bro.
killed their babies and raped their women.
Yeah, kill babies because they weren't strong enough. Or he did. I guess he just didn't like them. You know, whatever reason
He
he has
would
for it.
burn villages to the ground. Like,
Yeah, you see, those kind for those kind of people, that I feel like God will take care of them though. God will definitely take care of them.
and
I wouldn't say they're lucky that they get a free pass or anything, but you know, because they didn't get to experience life. So,
yeah.
but yeah,
I don't know. That's the question that I have to ask God. You know? Like I
yeah,
really don't know, and that's okay.
yeah.
Sometimes it's okay to not know.
That's one of the things that I'm not too sure about it, but I mean, for sure he'll take care of them.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah, and another thing, you said the reason why I believe in Christianity over any other religion is because just over time, as time passes by, I'm gonna give you an example that I recently discovered. Scientists have discovered that when your body is about to die, now you know you're dying, it's in panic, you're on your last breaths, you're about to die. What your body does, it rushes all the water from your body to your heart so it can keep going, right? Because your heart is what keeping you alive, right?
yeah.
It rushes your water. It rushes all your water to your heart, right? That's what they discovered, right? And in the Bible, it describes that when Jesus was on the cross, he was
They
on his
poked a
last
hole through his
breath.
side, and
Exactly.
water and blood came to you. And they didn't know,
Exactly.
and they didn't,
2,000 years ago,
and
they had no information about
they
that.
didn't know what the fuck that was.
Exactly. They had no information about that.
But
You can't be that descriptive and tell me it's fake. You can't be that descriptive and tell me that it's a fairy tale.
To me, like, for people that say like that's the worst argument to say that Jesus wasn't a real person. Jesus just made up yada yada, bro. What are we talking about, bro?
You can't
What are we-
describe that. 2,000. They
What are
didn't
we
have the
talking about?
technology to really discover
What
that.
are we like? Come on, we count the years from this man. Literally, like think about that. We count the. We're in the year 2025. We count the years from him.
Yeah.
That should let you know all you need to know.
Exactly. And people say documentation this, documentation that. Not even that, but there's other books that people have written that are not in the Bible
Do you
from their
know?
own
Do you know about the Shroud of Turin?
Yeah, I'm confused about that though. I don't understand that. I don't know what it
So
like.
basically, there was like a burial wrap,
Yeah.
and imprinted on it is a man
Mm-hmm.
who looks to be crucified, and they tested it in every way, shape, or form. It wasn't anything else. It was unexplainable. They couldn't explain how this imprint got on the sheet. This is the most studied artifact of all time.
They couldn't trace any information on it.
They could like they tried to see if it was like drawn on or
Yeah.
something. They came to no conclusions. There was no
Carved anything, nothing.
anything, nothing, no
Okay.
conclusions, inconclusive. And in the 80s, they did an experiment and they basically said, "Oh, this came from the 1300s. This is not a true artifact." But then they recently went back and they retested it, and guess what? It comes from the time of Jesus.
But how did they like? I don't get the whole.
Basically in the 80s they took a piece of it and
Yeah.
basically they dated it to the 1300s.
Okay.
But
That was
what they're saying now is that this artifact was repaired over time. Like people tried to keep it in good condition.
Yeah.
So then they took another piece and then they carbon dated it and it came from the time of Jesus.
Oh, did they take another piece to double test it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look into that more, but it's fascinating to see like how did that get on the sheet? You see what I'm saying? It's like how is that possible? Like science can't explain it. You know, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, and another thing is, I don't think in this world, before Jesus comes back again, I don't think that there will ever be 100% proof. You know,
And you know
like
what?
this water bottle.
And
This
you
is proof that I'm holding this water bottle, right?
and
And
you
it has a green wrap on it. I don't think that before Jesus comes back, there will ever be 100% proof
and
because
why?
the whole point is to believe in Jesus.
Hey,
I don't think
man.
there'll ever be
Why
100%
do you
proof.
think? Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question that I asked on the last podcast. Why do you think this is all a test of faith? Why do you think that the entire human existence, whether you go to heaven or hell, whatever, if you believe in that, whatever, why is this all a test of
Yeah.
faith and belief? Why did God make it so the way you find salvation is through belief?
I think it goes back to free will. He gave us free will. Like, why would God show us? Let's say this God. Let's say this is God. Why would God show us that you are here? And
Because you're saying if He shows you that, then your free will is gone.
yeah, pretty much. You're
Because then you have
your
to
free
believe.
will to believe, unless you're stupid and just neglect it, like Pharaoh.
And
God basically showed himself to him.
to me, belief is the most powerful thing a human can do.
Yeah,
The most powerful thing in this
yeah,
universe. Belief. And you want to know
yeah,
why? Because you live out your beliefs every day. If you
yeah,
believe that, give an example. Like, let's say you believe you're trapped in a cycle, right?
yeah.
You believe you're trapped in a cycle.
You're
Guess
gonna,
what?
yeah, you're gonna stay
You're
there.
trapped in a cycle.
Yeah,
Let's say you believe that let's use basketball as an example. Let's say you
yeah,
believe that nobody on this planet can guard me.
yeah,
You're probably gonna score more points.
yeah. Well, one Down syndrome kid, his parents never told him that he was Down syndrome. I know you've probably seen this before, but they
I
told
haven't.
him, no, you haven't?
Nope.
There was a Down syndrome kid, and his parents never told him that he wasn't like the rest of the kids. But so the kid went along his whole life thinking that he was just, like everybody else, and he ended up going to college. With Down syndrome, he just thought he was a normal kid because he believed that he was a normal kid. So I guess,
Right.
and not even to make it funny, but the whole locker room when the Cavaliers were down 3-1, everybody in that locker room believed that they could come back, and they came back.
It all starts with belief. If you believe you could better yourself, then guess what? You can better yourself. If you believe that you can't better yourself, then guess what? You can't.
If you believe that you can make
and
a
that's
3-1
why
comeback against the
word.
greatest team
And that's why I
in
say
history, like
and that's
they
why I
did
say
it.
that's why I say can't is the biggest swear word.
Yeah,
Can't is worse
I've
than
tried to take that out of my
can't
vocabulary, but
can't
sometimes it slips out.
can't is like the worst thing you could say as a human being. Because can't
Yeah,
is reinforcing your beliefs that you can't.
yeah. Words have power too.
Words
Even
have so much power.
even though people just say they're just words, like words have power too.
100%. And that's
Yeah,
scripture too.
yeah. Because if
The
let's
Bible
say you
says
hear a whole bunch of negativity, that negativity will eventually start tearing up some stuff.
by your words you'll be glorified, by your words you'll be condemned.
Yeah, yeah. That's how you don't meet like a heavily believer, and you don't meet them, and they start saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff because they protect that. Yeah, so they protect their words because they know that their words are powerful. So
Right.
yeah,
And yeah, if you tell yourself every day that you can't do something, then you won't be able to do it.
never gonna be able to do it.
And that doubt I've experienced a lot of doubt in my life. And the devil telling me, I can't do something, I can't do this, I can't do that. Am I really good enough? You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, to set yourself free is to have full belief and faith in God. To submit yourself and fully believe, regardless of anything. Belief is the most powerful thing in this universe.
Yeah,
If even when it goes down to falling in love with somebody, you have to believe you're in love.
yeah,
And that's why marriages fail, because you believe you have to get divorced.
yeah,
Every decision you make, ever, it always starts from a belief, an idea. It's crazy. So I say to the people watching this, believe good, believe good things. It's very simple. Like,
Just believe in
believe
yourself,
that
too.
you believe in yourself,
Believe in
but don't
yourself, too.
worship yourself. Believe in God, because God will give everything you need. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever your best idea, I promise you, God's idea is like 100 million times better.
And it's been a great conversation and it's been a pleasure to have you on because you have some really good ideas and you have a lot of knowledge
Thank you.
and I think people will resonate with what you have to say. And
I don't know. To me, I really don't think I said anything too crazy, but I mean, if this helps anybody out there, this gives somebody a new perspective. You know?
and
Maybe because I think about
to
this all the
answer your
time, it's normal to me.
and to answer your question, why did I start this podcast?
Yeah, I forgot to ask you that, but I asked you before. Why did you start this podcast? What made you start this podcast?
Well, I say this. I'll give you the full story so you can get to know me a little bit better. When I was like, okay, so I'll start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, make more sense, right?
when I was like 4 or 5, right? I'm Jewish, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I was raised Jewish. I was
Yeah.
bar mitzvahed, the whole 9 yard, right?
Would
My
y'all like disconnect on the weekends?
Kind of.
Like from kind
For
of
sure.
like this world right here?
Yeah, for sure. But my parents sent me to a Baptist Christian school. So as a kid, I got to see both sides.
Yeah.
Right? And through elementary school, I went to this Christian school, right? And then when I started middle school, I went to public school. And you were saying as a kid, you really don't understand,
Yeah.
right? So I went from being in this bubble from a 6th grade class of like 4 or 5 kids, like it was a very small
Yeah.
school, to a 7th grade class of like 300 kids.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw the world for what it was, and I had to play catch up. Like I like it was like I saw the world like
You
that
saw,
shit.
you
That
saw
shit.
like a group of kids that
That
was
shit hit me like a motherfucking truck.
Yeah, it was completely different than what you were used to, huh?
The world revealed itself to
Yeah.
me.
You didn't know it was like that or what? Like,
And
you couldn't imagine it.
and I'm not gonna get into all the experiences, but like, yo, it was eye opening. And so I kind of drifted off from God. I kind of followed myself, seek validation in others, and wanted to be accepted in a sense because I had no friends coming in, and that's what I wanted. And
Yeah.
middle school was hard, but when I got to high school, I finally got what I wanted. You know, like I was on the basketball team. You know, I got the validation I wanted.
Yeah.
You know, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And COVID single-handedly changed the outlook of my life.
How?
The first 2-3 months were hard because I was seeking this validation in others and it wasn't there because
Yeah, nobody was around.
Exactly,
Right?
right? And there was one day I was with my stepmom and we had started to talk about something. Can't even remember what it was, but this led to a spiritual awakening. Completely, this one day changed the entire trajectory of my life. I saw the world in a different light. And that 3 months was the best time of my life. And in those 3 months, I changed more than I had in 3 years. Right?
Yeah.
I was on cloud 9. I was literally, and all these thoughts of how life is so weird and life is so amazing and how God is so great and yada, yada, yada. It just all poured into me during one time.
Yeah.
Right? And that summer was the greatest time of my life. And I hope I have greater moments. I will have greater moments.
What made it like that, though? What made it so great? Like, what made it...
It was just, I can't even describe it. It was just like, I'll say it like this, all this curiosity. It was like all this curiosity, all this wonder.
Yeah.
And seeing the world as beautiful, truly and utterly beautiful. Like I would look at these trees and just be like, wow.
Yeah, be grateful for the trees, right?
Like, yo, these trees are breathing. They're giving us air.
Yeah.
And then I see the clouds move up in the sky, and they're like, like it was just so eye-opening.
Just realize it's really God's creation.
Like,
it's crazy, right?
Like, and the biggest thing for me was like realizing like, this isn't about you. You're a part of something way bigger than yourself.
With this, right? Like,
you're a part of something you can't even explain.
Yeah, I didn't make any of this happen, right?
And why I made this podcast comes from that time. But
since then, you thought about...
So I'll say it like this. After those 3 months, right, the high kind of wore off.
Yeah.
And with knowledge comes sorrow. And I knew all these things about the world now. And I saw it for what it was. And I recognized the evil in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I became complacent and lazy. And I wasn't acting. Like, God revealed his purpose to me during that time.
Yeah.
And I didn't act on it. For a long, long time. I became complacent and lazy and comfortable, like you described at the very beginning. And to me, why I started this podcast when I did, I have to thank Justin, and because I had worked this year, and I had believed I was trapped in a cycle. Mm-hmm. And he told me, he was like, you're trapped in a cycle because you believe you're trapped in a cycle. You can do whatever you want, bro.
You kept telling yourself that.
Exactly.
Like, I'm trapped here.
And the reason why I started this podcast is to try to reveal, like, to talk about things, to help people think about things in a way they never thought about before.
Yeah.
To give people new perspective.
You want to be that same, like, you hope to be that same spark that
I had.
Yeah, that same feeling that you had. Yeah.
Exactly, and I want to help people see things from a new perspective. I want to help people know God, number one, and understand that this life is weird.
Yeah.
The life that we're living in is not normal by any stretch of the imagination. So the cycle that you're living in, going through everyday life, just take a second to appreciate it and think about things that are fascinating, because life is fascinating, you know? And like, even to the microscopic detail, it's amazing. And yeah, that's why I created this podcast. And I thank you for coming on.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate you for having me.
For sure.
I never thought coming up to New York I would be in the podcast 2 weeks in.
Word.
2 weeks in, less than 2 weeks in.
Well,
this would have never happened back home, guarantee you that.
Word. And I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
This podcast, mark my words, will be #1 in the world one day.
Yeah. I hope so.
No, I believe it.
It will be.
It will be. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you for having me, bro.
And I hope we could grow our friendship.
Yeah,
for
bro.
sure.
Yeah.
And we will.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you guys for rocking with me. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Do what y'all do, man. Thank you. Peace.